So you're natural and you're wondering, can you successfully pull off a pixie cut? Today, I'm going to share a couple of pro tips with you to help you make the decision. First things first, let's get into it. You have to understand how important your hair texture is in deciding whether or not you should be rocking a pixie cut. Now, a pixie shape can be pulled off on textured hair, kinky, coily hair. You can get weight on the top. You can kind of pull your size in to where you get the shape of a pixie cut without wearing your hair straight. What I'm specifically talking about today is pressing your hair out from its natural curly, coily texture to wear it straight like my hair or some of my guests. Texture plays an amazing part. Now, you have to think about it. The haircut is the foundation of the pixie or short hair style. So of course, you can get your natural hair to mimic the shape of a haircut that someone would wear if they were wearing their hair straight. The thing is, what is your natural hair texture going to allow you to do once you get that haircut? So now the haircut can definitely be achieved on anybody's texture of hair, whether your hair is relaxed, straighter texture, whether your hair is natural with a softer, loose curl, all the way to coily and kinky hair. Anybody can have their hair cut to mimic a short hair shape. Take into consideration your particular hair texture. What you need to ask yourself is, what is it going to take once my hair is cut into the shape that I desire for me to get the look that I want? So are you looking to wear a pixie shaped natural style, or are you looking to wear a pixie that is straight, flat, smooth? These are the first two questions that you have to ask yourself. You can absolutely maintain your natural hair texture and get the shape cut to mimic, a pixie and wear it curly. It happens all the time. If you are not trying to wear it curly and you're trying to wear it straight, will your hair texture allow you to do that? Now, of course, just think about a silk press. If you're not cutting your hair and your hair is natural, when you want to wear your hair straight, what do you need to do? You need to silk press it, which means you need to heat style it in order to smooth out your hair's natural texture to get the straighter look. But what happens when you get a silk press? Your hair reverts. Now, here are a couple of questions that I always ask to help you as the natural individual understand and make a decision on what's best for you. If your hair texture requires you to straighten it in order to get the straight pixie look that you want, how often are you willing to do that? Once you cut your hair in this shape, are you leaning more toward wearing your hair curly? Do you want it more straight, or do you want the versatility to go back between straight and curly? Once you answer that question for yourself, that'll take you to step number 2. A lot of times ladies don't want to relax their hair while they do want the straight pixie look because they want the versatility to be able to go from curly to straight. I completely understand how desirable it is to have the best of both worlds, but what you must consider, just like if you're getting a silk press on longer hair, once you start adding this heat to your hair a lot, you definitely run the risk of creating some heat damage to where your hair's curl pattern is not curling like it used to. Again, these are questions that you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to risk your hair not curling up if you're one of the people who wants the versatility? If the versatility of going from curly to straight is not a concern for you and you want to wear your hair primarily straight, I highly suggest that you get a relaxer. If you want the pixie and you want to wear it straight, why are you wanting to stay natural? People have a bevy of reasons why they prefer not to get their hair relaxed, and that is 100% up to them. But I also like to help people understand that you are going to risk damaging your hair if you stay natural. Your natural curl pattern does not allow your hair to lay down without excessive heat, and you constantly getting your hair straightened to get this look. Something else you want to consider is if you are rocking a pixie cut and your natural texture of your hair is curly or coily, your hair is going to revert. Anytime you come in contact with moisture, whether it be sweating or you get in the shower or steam, the hair is going to go back to its natural curl. So what happens in that situation is generally you are going to start curling your hair at home. A piece here, a piece there, to keep it from coiling or curling back up to its natural texture. It's a battle that you're never gonna win. If you're natural and you primarily want to wear your hair in a straight style, I highly suggest that you just get a relaxer. If you don't want to get the relaxer, take into consideration the things that I just shared. One, you run a high risk of damaging your natural curl pattern with heat styling, and then you're in a situation where you want to wear it curly and straight, but you got straight strings here and curly strings there, and you're constantly cutting the hair to mimic a look. It's way more hoops to jump through. Because short hair should be simple and easy, trying to go from straight to curly for certain hair textures can be way more work than it's worth. There are some hair textures that allow them the flexibility to go from curly to straight, that mold without a whole lot of extra product and a whole lot of rigmarole to get the hair to lay flat and create a foundation. The majority of people who I've encountered who inquire about rocking a pixie while relaxed would benefit much better from choosing one side. Either finding a way to jazz up their natural hair that gives them the spunk and the freshness of a haircut, or coming over to the relaxer side where their hair can be properly maintained, where they're not running the risk of heat styling the hair to death. Another option that many people consider and take advantage of is leaving the crown of the hair natural while relaxing the sides and back. This situation works for some people if you find a stylist who's willing to properly care for your hair while you have these two textures going on. I primarily prefer to work with relaxed hair because there are a whole different set of procedures and products that are necessary to deal with natural hair and to properly care for relaxed hair. There are tons of stylists who serve guests and allow them the flexibility to leave the top of their hair in its natural state while relaxing the sides and back. Now you're probably wondering, why would you do that? When people have finer texture hair, sometimes they find that they enjoy the fullness of their hair in its natural texture, so they don't mind having it kind of silk pressed out so that they don't lose the fullness of their hair. Also, people sometimes have thinning in the crown and just other personal issues that makes them lean toward wanting to keep the top of their hair natural. I completely understand that. And then the sides and back are often cut. If you're maintaining your style like you should, your sides and back are getting cut often. And that shorter part of your hair is going to revert quicker. So relaxing that side and back gives people the versatility to be sleek on the sides, tie the sides down, work out, sweat, and not have the hair immediately revert while leaving the natural texture on the top. Again, when you do that, you are going to be trying to mimic the texture on your sides by curling your hair on the top. For some people, you can pin curl it and it works, or flexi rod it and it works, but you have to understand that these decisions have to be made on an individual basis. It depends on your diet, your hair texture, are you sweating or not sweating? Do you have an active lifestyle, or are you chilling all the time? There is no one size fits all. Each individual situation is unique, and I just wanted to throw out some things for you to consider, because who knows your hair better than you? I threw out these scenarios and questions to help you decide what to do next. I gave y'all a lot to think about from a professional standpoint. If you have questions about what to do next, drop them in the comments below. Hopefully, based on what I shared, you now have a more informed perspective on whether or not it's good to rock your hair in a pixie while staying natural.